now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our final presentation for the summit, and our speaker is Torkjel Austad. He is a QA manager at Kahoot, and his main expertise is software testing QA, software process improvement, test and project management with international experience in delivering software on a wide range of devices from mobile phones to game consoles. Some of his achievements include establishing a QA department from scratch in Kahoot and TIDAL, who are global players in their respective fields of education and music streaming, to become a very integral part of all their projects. And he has also succeeded in defining parts of Opera Software's QA and customer delivery processes. And he has also contributed in the capacity of a test manager for the DSi browser and the DSi Shop on Nintendo DSi. With that, he is here to speak to us about making quality awesome in the new normal. And I now give to you, ladies and gentlemen, Torkjel Austad.
Right. So, welcome everyone, and very excited to talk to you today. And I'm basically just going to walk you a bit through how we deliver and how we test software in Kahoot, and a bit about how we're working in the new normal, being the pandemic. So the Kahoot will be about 25 minutes long, or a bit longer, I don't know. And hopefully there will be a little time for Q&A at the end. If you're enjoying this, feel free to tweet at GetKahoot. About me, my name is Torkjel Austad. I'm Norwegian. Kahoot is actually a company in Norway, but it's very international. We have employees from, I don't know, 40, 50 countries, and we have employees in several countries as well. Yeah, I'm 15,303 days old. Been working as a QA manager for 15 years. Started out with Opera Software, where I got to work with Nintendo, among others, really exciting. After that, I worked for a music streaming service. TIDAL got eventually acquired by Jay-Z, and just recently now acquired by owner of Twitter. And now the last 4 years, I've been working for Kahoot. So here's a quiz. 15,303 days, how many years is that? Someone's picking up the calculator here. Yeah, 41 years, soon to be 42. I have another question. How familiar are you with testing? Is it totally new? Heard of it? Have already written tests? Could write an article on it? Just interesting to know. All right, so we have a lot of people that are new to testing, and a lot of people who actually been writing a bunch of tests. And one person is going to write an article on it. That's great. So, about Kahoot. Many of you might know what it is, but a quick video explaining it. It's better than me talking about it. I hope this video comes through.
Hi, we're Kahoot. We're on a mission to make learning awesome. Our platform is used by millions of people all over the world. Teachers, students, company employees, and lifelong learners. Kahoot makes it easy to create fun learning games or trivia quizzes in minutes, anytime, anywhere. We call them Kahoots. It works for any subject, in any language, on any device. You can also discover and play existing games. There are millions of Kahoots in our library. Kahoot can be played in a live setting with questions on a big screen, or on a mobile device where you see questions and answers on one screen. As well as in schools, Kahoot is played in companies, at events, and even parties to make learning awesome. Sign up today at kahoot.com. Let's play.
Let's play, and we're already playing. Yeah, Kahoot, it's started in 2013, and I started in 17. And until 17, it was actually just a simple and free service, but it was becoming extremely popular. And around the time I started, that's when we first started making subscriptions. And based on that, we have made a lot of new features that if you want more from Kahoot than just a simple game, you can have it. But Kahoot should always be free. There are some numbers here. They're probably a lot higher now. Just haven't been updating it. But very exciting things going on. So yeah, our main business segments are schools, business, and of course at home. And recently we have a lot of other apps joining our family. So here are just a few of them. Poyo, Numbers. These are apps for learning math and reading. And the beauty of it is that you won't know that you're learning math when you're using these apps. So your kids will be doing a game and learning algebra. So what's better than that? So what year was Kahoot launched? Yes, 2013 was not so long ago. And true and false, Kahoot Dragon Box helps children to learn to read. Yeah, that was false. It's actually Poyo, the other app. Dragon Box is so the Kahoot approach to software testing. It's very important just to start with saying that we are releasing to production every day. So how do we do that? But first the question, a bug is in a software program, true or false? It is indeed. That's a lot about what software testing is. So the situation and challenges, we had a rapid growing success all around the world. We had internal teams that needed to scale. We need to support a wide range of devices. We need to think about accessibility and, of course, a high security standard. So we needed to enhance the QA team. We needed to increase the SDLC to release features more quickly and easily. And we needed optimal coverage. So time and resources. That's what we have. How do we make the most of it? So a key question is, if you have limited time and resources, what is important? This is something you have to think about. What is important? So you see here, the blue is everything. You see here, you have your requirements. Maybe not all of them are important. So maybe this potato here, and this is what we need to know. We need to fill out as much as we can and know as much as we can about what's inside here. So first of all, we have unit tests. Unit tests, developers write them. That's simple. The quiz, what is a unit in a unit test? Yes, function, a method, or the smallest testable part of a program. We still got Trishma on top here since the beginning. All right. Second thing we need to do is whenever a developer has code ready, it needs to be reviewed by another developer, code peer review. That can also catch a lot of issues. Developers do them as well. So quiz. Which programming style is often associated with testing? Yep, extreme programming or test development. Another quiz. Which statement is not true? Yeah, most of you got that right. If you go into testing and think it's not possible to test your code, well, maybe you should do something else. Right, so we had unit tests, we had code reviews, then we have automated tests. So for web, we use a tool called Cypress. And once the build is deployed to our pre-production environment, these run. And that can also cover a lot of stuff, a lot of basic stuff that should always work. So automated tasks is necessary because manual testing is all of the above. Automated tests are great, but it definitely helps to have automated tests for what you don't see is going to change in the near future. Then automated tests are great to cover that. Then again, what else can we do? Well, there are tools. I'd like to mention at least one. So Fabric or Crashlytics. Once things are out in production, it sends us reports of any crashes that might happen. And there are just so many weird scenarios that can happen out there with different devices, network issues, etc., that it's impossible to pick up internally. So these tools are great for covering that. And most often, we are able to fix these issues just based on those reports. There are also analytical tools that can give us very useful information the product is being used. All right, so back to our potato. So you see here, we're getting a better picture of what's going on inside this potato here. We have unit code reviews, tools, automated tests, but still there are some unknowns. So what do we do about that? That is, of course, manual testing. Testing on real devices, humans interacting with the application. So we have two layers of manual testing. We have internal testers and external testers. For internal testers, we have QA managers who are responsible for managing the testing, that the right testing is done. And then we have more junior testers to actually execute the tests. External testers, I will get into in the next, or one of the next slides. So again, yeah, internal testers. What in Kahoot, things happen extremely fast. So we cannot write thousands of test cases because things change from week to week, day to day. We have the basis of test cases and it needs to be executed before release, but we really rely on skilled testers who know the product really well to quickly understand or test what they think could be the most interesting areas. And that is, of course, usually related to the change logs that we get every day. So to really explore, to think about all the impact those changes could have to the code. They know about our product, they know about our history, what kind of subscriptions and users we have, what to expect from each. So really important just to have really skilled testers in the team. So quiz. Bugs in software arises due Yeah, I'm glad to see that most of you got that right. And miscommunication can cause bugs. Software complexity can also cause bugs. Sometimes less is more. And obviously programming errors can create bugs. Still Trishma in the lead here. Right. So time zones, you can make them into your advantage. So we have testers in Asia. So we prepare a daily build. We're in Oslo and standard European time. So we prepare a build by the end of the day. Automated tests are run. And then there are a bunch of tickets that need to be tested manually. So we have the testers in Asia, so they get up while we're still sleeping and go through all the tickets. And then we have an overlap in the morning. So that in that way, we only need a couple of hours to make a decision if we can go to production. So time zones can definitely be your friend. Then we have external testers as well. And for that, we have a partner. They're called. It's a crowdsourced testing service. So we basically have a subscription with them. What they do is they have a platform where software testers like you and me can actually have a contract with them. And you can do it as extra work. Some even do it as their main work. But you can then join a test cycle. So I'll initiate what's called a test cycle on our side. We usually want to do this when we get closer to new feature releases, because we've done our internal testing, we've done everything we can, but there still might be issues that we are not aware of, because there's just so many devices out there. There are so many, there might be things we haven't thought about. So it's great to get this external testing done. In this cycle, we've defined a scope, what we want to focus the testing on. They have a test manager on their side that knows our product really well, and they have the backlog. So their test manager will review any ticket that comes in from those testers, and just check that it's not already a known issue, a duplicate. And they will review it. And when we get into review, there should ideally only be valid issues there. And if they are indeed valid, we'll export it directly into our Jira bug tracking system. We are also collaborating with them on security testing and accessibility. So here you just see a little bit more about what I already mentioned. Side, working closely with us. They're also in our Slack channels. Slack being everything we do for communication, and here the community of testers. And this is also really useful if you want to do localization. So Kahoot now is being localized to many new languages. And then we can actually have software testers with those native languages doing testing for us. And we get really valuable feedback, not only on functional issues, but actually language. Here again, you see functional testing, unlimited hours of that, exploratory testing, security, and accessibility. So what is accessibility testing anyway? Yes, it's to basically try to make the product accessible to as many people as possible. It could be impaired vision. It could be many issues that just to make it easy for everyone to use. All right, see Echo is coming up with 7 correct answers in a row. It's great. All right, last but not least, you have your customer feedback. We should not forget about that. So your customers are using the product. They have valuable feedback, not only about using it, but they might be also actually finding some issues, and you should have a way to channel that back to your development team. And what is usability testing? Yeah, you definitely don't want to mess with Chuck Norris. Odisha coming up on 2nd place here. All right, so a bit just summarize the daily process. Build gets prepared in the pre-production environment. Automated tests are run. manual testing starts while I'm sleeping. We overlap in the morning, synchronize, make a decision to release. So here's a puzzle. You need to put these pieces in the right order, from left to right. What is the release process in Kahoot? Once you got the order, you can click the submit button. Got it right? Yeah. So back to our potato and summarized. So with all these layers of testing, unit tests, code reviews, tools, internal and external testers, automated tests, customer feedback, we are able to uncover most of what's inside this potato. Not always everything, of course, but we do almost every day make releases to production. That's pretty amazing, I think. Right, so the new normal hit us about a year ago. And actually, work-wise, we didn't have to change much at all. But I want to ask you, and you can write whatever you want here, what was the biggest initial challenge work-wise when the pandemic hit? You're free to write whatever you want. All right. That was the biggest challenge in the beginning, and adapting to that. Yes, we all had to adapt. Let's see. I can tell you how we're doing it, at least. We're using Slack a lot. Sort of chat tool where you create channels for different purposes, and of course also direct chat. There's also video if you want. So that was in place, and it actually makes the communication flow really well. What we hadn't used as much in the past, but we're using a lot now, is of course video calls and having video meetings. We're using Zoom the most, and we're also doing integration with Zoom and Kahoot. Then working from home, to access the environment at the office, you need VPN. And if you're a tester like me, you need a bunch of devices to be able to test. But that went pretty smoothly, I'd say. Of course, missing colleagues and things, but it's just more important to do those video meetings. You can do a coffee video meeting, even just to, say hello and keep up with everyone. So everything else was basically in place to keep working, and went just surprisingly well. As for the usage of Kahoot, we had actually, well, a lot of people were thinking about Kahoot only as a social game, but we already had a lot of games in place that doesn't need to be played in the same room. We had the apps where you can do what's called a challenge, where you basically, it's a Kahoot that you play, but the host will say, yeah, you need to finish it within, say, 24 hours. It's a great tool for teachers to give Kahoot to their students. So they need to finish the Kahoot by the end of the day, for example. So we just turned around and we saw that it's also definitely possible and no problem to play Kahoot like we're doing now. We're not in the same room. We're just using these video tools. So with that, the usage of Kahoot increased a lot. It's just turned out to be a really useful tool when for education, when people cannot be in the same room. And pretty much in time. Maybe we have 3 minutes for Q&A. If there are any questions, I could not get too much into details about automation, but feel free to, if there are any questions.
We don't have any questions so far. I think everybody's been so involved and engaged in answering your questions. Nobody has sent in any questions yet.
What I can do is I can finish the Kahoot so we can see who won it.
Yes, let's do that.
So thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and let's see who won. In third place, we have Gila. Second place, Adisha. First place, Krishma, since the beginning.
But you know what? Let's give it over to Udisha, since I would not like to claim first place for myself. So let's give it to Udisha. I think she's done a great job. And I believe we do have a prize for the winner. Is that right? Do we have a prize going to the winner, Torkjel?
I hope so.
Okay, yes. So Udisha, you can probably just send the organizing committee your email and we will get in touch with you with regard to your prize. Right. Torkjel, would you have any final or closing remarks? I don't see any questions come in so far.
Well, I hope you got a bit of insight and enjoyed using Kahoot this way, and some thoughts about how you can do software testing and feature development. Yeah, just hope you enjoyed that.
All right, fantastic. I think I echo everybody's sentiments when we say that this was really fun and very interactive to have to play a game while learning something new. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your time with us, Torkjel.
Thank you for having me.